Hey everybody, happy Sunday. It's day 5 of my carnivore experience, or experiment, my experimental experience. My experiential experiment. Hi everybody, happy Sunday morning. This is Cindy from Ask Nurse Cindy, and earlier today I posted, quite a few have been asking me on your carnivore journey, these 2 weeks that I'm doing and committing to you. And hi everybody, as you hop in, let me know. I don't even think I've got, let's see, it says swipe left to reveal comments and reactions. So give me a thumbs up as you guys come on. Let me know that you can hear me and everything's good. I actually am not in my studio today. Hi, Debbie Stokes, my sister, who I blame all this on. Earlier today, I posted my carnivore cups, or little muffin cups that I made that don't have any carbs in them other than the half a carb per egg, a little bit of carbs from the cheese, a little bit of carbs from the heavy whipping cream. So the recipe is posted earlier. And what I did was I decided, a lot of you have been asking, Cindy, what do you have for breakfast? Well, clearly the easiest answer is bacon and eggs, or sausage and eggs, or just bacon like I did yesterday, or just sausage. Because this carnivore experiment that I'm doing, along with Nisha Berry Solace Berry, I should say, and she's doing it for a month. I'm committing to 2 weeks because I don't know how this is going to go for me. Hi, Heather. How are you? Good to see you guys all as you're hopping on, to Denise and all you guys and Wynell. So it's good to see all of you guys. So I decided I would try something different for breakfast. We went to church last night, so we didn't have to rush around we didn't go so I could make these carnivore cups, and that's what I'm calling them. It's a homegrown recipe, and I'm getting ready to taste them. So the actual recipe, and feel free to hit share if you're thinking about doing carnivore, which is a modification, if you will, of keto, in the sense a ketogenic, meaning I'm creating ketones and burning my body fat or my dietary fat as my fuel source instead of using glucose. And the benefit of keto or carnivore is that by keeping your carbs low, you keep your insulin level low. And since insulin is the master fat storage hormone, when I ask less of its presence, when I say, you know, you're a nice guy or gal, and I'm glad that you're here, I need you, I just don't need you around a whole lot. So what I'm doing is 2 weeks to try to drop my insulin response even more, see how I do with very, very few carbs, because I'm not eating any veggies. I'm not eating any almond flour. I'm not even eating any nuts other than the 5 that I had last night. I caved for a brief moment, had 5 total almonds. I feel fine. I feel fine. So every day I'm posting my ketone levels, my blood ketones, which is the beta-hydroxybutyrate ketone, and I'm also posting my blood glucose. Yesterday I went out and bought a different blood test strip at Walmart because it was only $9, and I got the strips very inexpensively. So I posted this recipe. I baked them in. I put them in a 350. The recipes earlier on a regular post. I put them in the silicone cups that I bought off of Amazon. Paper cups, if you guys have ever baked anything in a paper cupcake cup, they stick a lot of times. And I've done the thing where I grease my cupcake pans and then pour the batter directly into there. And they're, to me, one of the most irritating things about cooking is the cleanup. And if I have to take a little scrubby brush and scrub inside a 12 or 24 cupcake wells, it ticks me off. So I put them in I want to show you how easy these come out. They just came right out. I didn't grease them or anything. So here's the recipe. So I made 2 types, or 2 sizes, I should say, the same recipe. I made the big ones, and here's the little ones. Look how cute that just came out so well. There is nothing on there. So if you don't, just like I love my silicone baking mats, I adore my silicone cupcake liners. So here's the different size. All right, so here's the big. This is a regular cupcake size. And this are those little mini muffin tins that you can get from Wilton or anywhere. So there's no almond flour. It's basically eggs, a little bit of heavy whipping cream, a little cheese, recipes earlier. So you get to experience me experiencing these. So should I try the big one or the small one first? What do you guys think? On the small one, on some of them, I put a little thing of kielbasa on it. I think I'll try that. No, that'll be a stronger taste. So I'm going to take a bite here and see. Give me some thumbs up. Don't you wish you were here with me today and I would share with you? Very nice. Please don't ask me if it tastes eggy. They're eggs. That's the biggest complaint you hear about keto breads. Well, I shouldn't have taken such a big bite. Yummy. Look at that. Isn't that lovely? Yumbo. You got to hit share on this one. This is a shareable moment here. All right, so very moist. I added 2 tablespoons of bacon grease. I will tell you, I didn't let it cool down enough. You'll notice in the recipe I put cooled bacon grease. It was a little too hot, so when I poured the first tablespoon in, I started to drizzle it across the egg batter that I'd made. I heard it go tss, and it was actually cooking my eggs in my big bowl. So had to let it cool. I stopped. I put 2 tablespoons of bacon grease in there just for the flavor. Very nice. All right, so that's the big one. Now, where did I put my little one? Oh, here's my little one. This one has the little kielbasa piece on top. Nice. Yep. These, let me take a sip. What is it you're drinking, Cindy? I'm so glad you asked. I'm drinking sparkling water from H-E-B. Those of you that do not live in Texas, H-E-B is our major grocery store we have here, and they have their own brand of just about everything. And this is their sparkling water flavored with lemon. There are no calories, there are no sweeteners in here. It's one of the things about carnivore that's probably been the hardest for me. In some ways, it's been much easier than I thought. I'm on day 5. I'm actually feeling really good. Very perky, very hilarious. My husband's like, I got to go to the store. I think he just wanted to get it. I was feeling real sassy and just zinging him with one-liners and just being hilarious this morning. But anyway, no sweeteners. So that's been, to me, the hardest part. I really haven't missed much other than... you're theoretically not supposed to do any sweeteners. Now, if you're going to do a little monk fruit or a little swerve or something in your coffee, you get to write, this is a cool thing. You get to do whatever you want because we live in America. This is really good. Okay, so I'm good. Oh, I like the little ones, I think, better. Why? Well, I think they're more flexible. My mom said, don't eat with your mouth full, and that's exactly what I'm doing to all of you guys. Oh, yum. I like the kielbasa on top. It gives that little bite of extra savory, lovely meatiness. And I think they're going to be more flexible so far as my serving size. Because one of the secrets of whether you're ketogenic, low carb, healthy fat, or whether you're carnivore is that you eat to satiety. You eat until you're satisfied. You don't overeat. I don't try to hit some magic macro. Oh my God, I have 100 grams of fat left to eat. I've got to drink some MCT oil. That's one of the ways that people lose weight on this eating plan, a way of living, is that you don't get hungry as often. I used to chase my hunger all the time as my blood sugar would go up with carbs, insulin, that fat storage hormone would come out of my pancreas, and then it would do what it's supposed to do, and that's get the extra sugar out of my bloodstream. Well, it doesn't just evaporate like a glass you leave out on the counter for several days. That glucose was being forced into my fat cells, the fructose was being forced into my liver or into my fat cells, and it was a constant roller coaster of eat, little brief satiety, slam down blood sugar, feel that drop, feel that hanger, and then feel compelled. And it was a hormonal compulsion. It wasn't willpower. That's one of the most freeing mental things about this eating plan, is that you're hormonally not controlled by insulin. Because while insulin's the master fat storage hormone, it's a bully. And I'll tell it to its face, it's a bully. And I don't like bullies, because what it does is while it's forcing that glucose, that excess glucose out of your bloodstream into your fat storage, which was our protective mechanism in times of famine that kept us alive as a species. God's very intelligent about how he designed us. It also resists, or it literally locks down your fat storage to keep you from being able to release the fat that you've stored for a rainy day or a famine. And that's one of the reasons traditional weight loss plans that were low calorie, low fat did not work for me. They may work for some others, but for me it did not work, because fat is what gives you satiety. If you think about animals out in the wild that are carnivores, when they go and eat, they go for the fatty parts of the animal first. They go from the organ meats. They go the organs in the belly. They go for the fat. In different cultures, especially early on, to be given the fatty cheeks of the tuna in Japan is still, when I was over there working, it's still the prized thing because of all of the fat that's in the cheeks of the tuna. That's the prized part of the tuna. And when you're over there eating sushi or sashimi, the fattier the tuna, the more expensive each piece is. So that's very interesting. So fat is sustaining. It's life-sustaining. Protein is life-sustaining. The only thing that I don't ever have to eat another bite of, nor does anyone from the moment of birth, are carbohydrates, because our body can make glucose from the amino acids and the glycerol. So that's it for me. I just wanted to share with you guys that I did that's a pretty good recipe. Now I will tell you that the larger muffins, if you make the larger ones, if you don't have a small muffin pan, they actually took about 26 minutes for the toothpick to come out without stuff stuck to it, and the small ones did just fine at 20 minutes at 350. So that recipe is posted. I jokingly called them carnivore cups because I thought I was funny this morning. Well, I am funny, but some of you get my humor, some of you don't. My mom, don't watch this, Mom. I'm eating with my mouth full. I'm talking with my mouth full. Well, questions, anybody? Let's see who's, feel free to share this. And I have a YouTube channel, too, called Ask Nurse Cindy. I'm very creative. I'm getting ready to do my website here the next couple weeks. I know I've been talking about that for a while, but I'm getting closer. It's called Ask Nurse Cindy. I'm so creative. Let me see if you guys have, thanks for all the comments and the thumbs up. The hearts are great. I really appreciate that. Have I lost any weight yet? Vicky wants to know since eating carnivore. No. The first day I gained 2 pounds, and then it just sort of stayed there. And this morning I was down those 2 pounds. So I am at a net 0. But first off, we have to understand that the scales are the least reliable methodology to see how we're responding to keto. It's one of the reasons I'm testing my blood sugar and my blood ketones, my highest ketone level. And the morning ketones, if you do check your blood ketones with a Keto Mojo, I happen to bring it because I wanted to show you guys what it looked like. It's called Keto Mojo. It's a small startup compared to the bigger blood sugar companies, and you can find them at keto-mojo.com, and it tests both glucose and it tests blood ketones. So that's Keto Mojo. And then the other one, the one I just got yesterday at Walmart, and this was only $9, is called Rely On. $9 for this glucose only meter. They have different ones, but I got the cheapest one. And why did I buy that? One, I wanted to do what Matt and Mega do and put them next to each other and see, so I could take one picture instead of two to post. And the other one was I ran out of the glucose strips. I typically only check my ketones once a day because those strips are pretty pricey. They're about 97 cents each, and I'm not in the mood to be spending $3, $4 a day on ketone strips. It doesn't really matter. You don't have to ever test your blood ketones or your blood glucose. The glucose, if you're diabetic, pre-diabetic, you think you have metabolic syndrome, that would be a good idea, because what you'll see is you'll see those numbers coming down. What's been disheartening for me is to find out that my fasting morning blood sugars are in the 90s continuously. I've only had 187. So good for me. I'm going to figure it out. So that's no weight. But others, if you guys have been doing carnivore for a while, and you have, I think several people on my recipe thing were saying they're down 4 pounds, 6 pounds in 4 or 5 days. So if you think about it, when I really reduce my carbohydrate intake, I really reduce my insulin. So yeah, I know. I know. I'm talking with my mouth full. I know. My sister just corrected me. I know. Thanks for doing. You're welcome. You're welcome, Lisa. Hi, Gail. I was so concerned if you're prone to gout, will carnivore increase the chance of a flare? You know, go to diet. Oh, and you're so kind to say I look nice. So go to dietdoctor.com. It's my most trusted website. It's the most thorough website. Dr. Andreas Einfeld and his folks host that. They take no ads, they sell no products, and they have an article about gout. Now, gout has always been blamed on meat because it's uric acid crystal buildup. But actually, fructose is seen to be a bigger trigger. Some people who have existing gout, according to dietdoctor.com, will have an increased chance of a brief flare within the first 6 weeks. After that, it tends to decrease the gout symptoms. So just be aware of that and make sure you hydrate really, really well. So recipe, Kathy, is on my previous post. Do I still track your macros? How much protein? You know, Heather, I'm horrible about that. Some people are awesome about that. I don't. I've been doing this 2 years, the low carb journey. I don't track macros. I used to believe a year and a half or so ago that I had to hit X number of fat grams. And then I started hearing more and more from researchers that, and Maria Emmerich is fantastic. If you don't follow her, I highly encourage you to follow her. But she talks about, and many others are starting to really talk about, hey, you're going to burn, you know, the whole thing about keeping your carbs low is that you're going to burn ketones. Well, I can make ketones out of my stored fat, or I can make ketones out of the fat I drink in my coffee. So which do I want? So to think that you have to hit your fat macros is something that Dr. Eric Westman from Duke talks a lot about. He said, use fat as a lever. Eat fat to satiety. That's the one macro you want. The one that I truly watch, that especially carnivores now, it's easy, is I don't go over 20 grams of carbohydrates a day. So net versus total carbs, that's your call. I did a video a long time ago. It's on the Ask Nurse Cindy YouTube channel. Go over there and subscribe if you haven't. And in it, I have a video showing how to compute total carbs versus net. And what Dr. Westman says is that if you want prescription strength keto, you'll do 20 grams total. So your sugar alcohols count. If you're eating an Atkins bar, which I hope you aren't, but I have on occasion when I'm traveling and it's like nothing else is around. But those all count. So if they say 27 total, that would be your whole day's supply. So I don't track macros. Some people do. I'm horrible at it. I feel different with this. Nicole says, I feel different with this weight beating. Do I want to do it forever? Probably not. But for now, I'm feeling great. I'm glad to hear that, Nicole. The keto I'm going to do forever. It has totally, radically revolutionized how I interact with food and my thought process about it. I don't sneak eat anymore. I don't hide things. I'm not controlled by my appetite. So that's nice. So how long after waking do you wait to take your blood sugar? I usually wait at least an hour. I'll drink some water. I'm not a coffee drinker first thing in the morning. I'm maybe a 1 cup a day on a really long day, maybe 2 cups of coffee a day. But I know that you're going to have what's called the dawn, D-A-W-N phenomena when you first wake up. So your cortisol, as it rises to wake you up, is going to have you have a higher blood sugar. So get up, move around, don't eat anything. But yeah, and Candace asked a good question. Wouldn't it be better to check the sugar in the morning instead of after a night fast? I do test my blood glucose several times during the day because I know about the dawn phenomena. And what I'm doing is after I eat a meal, I will test it, not every meal, if I eat 2 or 3 meals a day, but at least one of the meals, I'll say, okay, how did my body respond to that? Because your blood sugar will sort of peak out because you can have some insulin response or generate an insulin response with a high protein meal, depending on how insulin resistant you are if you have metabolic syndrome. And so I want to see, is carnivore causing me to spike an a glucose response, which means I'm spiking an insulin response. And the highest postprandial, and that's medical terminology for after a meal, you want to check it an hour to hour and a half after a meal because by then it's going to have been digested and sort of peaking out and showing what your blood glucose is. You want that 2 hour, hour and a half postprandial to be no more than 140. You want it lower than that if possible. My highest was 123, and I think that was the first day on carnivore. So my postprandials are 101, 98, 99, so that's good. And if I was a tracker, if I was a Dave Feldman, if I was channeling Dave Feldman, I'd be taking pictures and writing this all down. I keep telling myself I should do it, and then I don't, so bad girl. Bad girl. Let's see. I mentioned this because I'm at a stall. What's your advice for no loss after 40 pounds? Marianne, you know, many women, especially if you're 40 and older, if you're perimenopausal or menopausal or post like I am, I'm 61, it's very interesting. And if Dr. Heather's on or Dr. Ken Berry or any of the folks, I've found that the first year, most of us will lose a fairly significant amount of weight and then it settles in. Is that because we need to adjust what we're taking in? Is that because our body's reached a certain set point and it thinks, okay, so Cindy's lost 70 pounds in a year, because that's when I did my first 70 pounds, and the next year it's only been 5. Oh my gosh, is she in a famine? Is she in distress? And is my body checking to make sure I'm okay? I'm not sure. I think there's a lot of opportunity for us to realize that it's very normal. I don't know if it's natural. I think it's probably a combination of things, because you need fewer calories the less you weigh, unfortunately. While we don't count calories, calories ultimately count. That's why you don't want to be eating 3,000 calories of fat a day. It will keep you from losing weight. But I don't know the answer to that. If I did, I'd be 135 pounds, which is where I'd like to ultimately. So I'm open to any suggestions, and I'm trying to learn more. Oh gosh, you're so kind. Thanks, Jolene, for the nice message. Yeah, Joni, her ex-husband had flare-ups when he drinks beer. Beer is gluten-laden. Beer is like drinking liquid wheat for the most part. And it's just one of the worst alcoholic drinks for inflammation that anybody can have. And so it's got the fructose, it's got the gluten, and it's a horrible flare. So dietdoctor.com has some good stuff. What are my Keto Mojo readings, Tracy asks. I've been anywhere. I've not been under 0.5. This morning was 0.5. Your ketone readings are going to be lower in the morning than they will be in the afternoon. My highest has been 2.6 or 2.4 on this. Or 2.2, somewhere like that. If I tracked it, I'd tell you. I'd say, let me look at my tracker, and I would tell you. I guess I could go back into the history and look that up. So, good. Lisa, good for you for doing the Carnivore Challenge. Hi there. Hi, Denise. Macro tracking makes me feel like I'm dieting. Following Dr. Westman's protocol is a lifestyle. Yes, absolutely, Denise. I'm so with you there. Oh, you're so kind. That's about the decorations. You're so, oh, wrong hand. I can't scroll up. Hi, everybody. I will do keto forever. If I invited you and you made in time, are you catching up? I have no idea, Dory Lynn, what you're saying. Seymour. Okay, but hi. So doing keto for the rest of my life eating only helps you truly appreciate the keto lifestyle. Sandra, that's an interesting concept. You know, that's interesting. In other words, what I think you're saying, Sandra, is that when we strip away all carbs, those lovely, luscious Brussels sprouts that Nisha said yesterday, watch that interview when I brought her on to my live yesterday. She said she was craving Brussels sprouts, and I've been like wanting a nice big crunchy salad. I've also been wanting a few keto treats, but it's really interesting how easy it's been in some ways. And yeah, so I'm missing hi, my mom and dad. My mom and dad are on. Hi, Dean Clay Davis. They are in their mid-80s and doing keto. Dad joined me in the Carnivore, so he's doing well. My mom's down like 55 pounds. So I'm so proud of you guys. I'm so proud of you. So Donna ate a cupcake yesterday, felt depressed and sad since last night, my second and last cheat in 7 months. You know, Donna, it's okay. You know what? You live and learn. Right? The worst thing to do would be to do the cupcake and then eat 11 more, or then to go on a 3-month. And there's so many people that get so depressed and feel like such a failure that they don't just pop right back up. I think it's one of in the Psalms it says that a righteous man falls down 7 times and gets back up. So to fall down is natural. We're human. It's normal. But get back up. Dust yourself off. If you felt horrible afterwards, if you woke up, my daughter Lauren has had a couple of splurges, and she wakes up with what she calls a carb hangover. So if you feel sort of headachy and lethargic and inflamed today, it's how you learn. We learn as humans. We learn. Someone asked Benjamin Franklin once, wasn't he depressed that he'd done over 10,000 experiments that had all failed? And he basically, I'm paraphrasing, said, no, I feel confident that I'm 10,000 steps closer to finding the answer, because he was determined to discover electricity. So I think or how to harness electricity. So yeah, you know, Leonie, she talks about leptin issues. Any advice? Stay the course. Trust the journey. Leptin is the hormone that tells us to eat, and leptin is the satisfaction hormone, and ghrelin, Ghrelin, is the hormone that tells us to eat. Think of your stomach going grrr, being hungry. That's how I remember the difference. And leptin says, hey, you've had enough. And our cells, especially our fat cells, can become leptin resistant. So the hormone may be coming out, trying to go up to our brain to say, hey, you've had plenty, just stop. and instead we can become leptin resistant like we can insulin resistance. I think it just takes time. When we've damaged our bodies with inflammation and insulin resistance and all the things that go along with that, we just have to be patient, stay the course, maybe tweak things around, maybe do a little bit of exercise. One of the things I do, I don't think you're going to be able to see. I'm going to move my little table out of the way, but I do what I call Papa squats. So, and we had the Papa squat challenge. So let me see if you guys can see me. So squat down when you're in the bathroom, or like here, I'm holding on to my little table here. Pop down and go back up, and pop. Don't go down to the point where it hurts your knees. Keep your knees pointed out a little bit. Look up how to do squats well. But any activity, standing at the in the grocery store, holding on to your shopping cart, do little toe lifts. Do anything to increase your muscle. You can do wall push-ups. I'm not asking anyone who's my age or even younger, if you've got bad knees or things, I don't want you to hurt yourself. Check with your doctor. Look how to do squats safely. But when I first started, I could only go down a couple of inches. And now, even without it, I won't show you now, I can go down into a full squat and come back up. I do about 100 squats a day. When I go to the bathroom after I've taken care of business, I get myself put back together, and then I do these squats. And sometimes I do 10. Sometimes I have time, and my muscles can handle doing 40 at a time. So do what you can. If you've got leptin resistance, or you're if you've got bad knees and bad hips and you can't do any of that, work on your upper body. Grab yourself a couple of cheap weights at TJ Maxx or Marshall's. That's where I found they're the least expensive, or Ross. Or even barring that, grab a couple of cans of something, or bottles, and fill them up with water, and sit there and do bicep curls, and do lifts, and you can take it and do I'm trying to show you tricep things. So do what you can and stay the course. Okay, so Faye woke up with a severe headache, all better. Now, I'm glad, Faye. It might have been that you were a little low in, oh, my camera's sort of weird. You're a little low in sodium. Here, you guys have, if you haven't read the book, The Salt Fix by Dr. James D. Nicolantonio, or you haven't looked at what keto flu is, where it's actually an electrolyte imbalance, one of the things that I have was reminded of, I do a lot of podcast watching. I do a lot of educational webinars, not just on keto and what it does, but on stress and getting good amounts of sleep. And, those things are also important. And exercise, or just think of it as movement. And one of the things I was reminded was that we've got our, have you ever seen a kid lick an ice cream cone? Okay, they lick with the front, or they'll do it like this, because our sweet sensors are in the front, and I think our our salty are on the sides of our mouth. What I found is that if I don't want to mix the salt in some warm water and a little jigger and pop it back, I found that if I pinch some salt out of, I have like a little salt cellar, pinch some salt, I'm not gagging myself, and put it back on your tongue right in the middle, grab a sip of water and swallow it right away. You don't even taste the salt, because your tongue's salt sensors are elsewhere. So that oftentimes we have headaches when we first start keto, or when we change our ratio of what we're eating, we'll find that we have a low sodium. And so that is, and what's interesting about that, you said that, let's say you were eating 20 grams of carbs a day, and you go down to like 2 or 3 based on your eggs, and if you're doing cheese or heavy whipping cream. For every gram of carbohydrate that we consume, our body holds on to 4 grams of water, because of the inflammation carbs cause in our bodies. And so even that small change could have been enough to cause you to have a little electrolyte imbalance and a little dehydration from that. So if any of you, dietdoctor.com, of course, has good stuff about that. Oh, good, Gary. Gary loves this lifestyle. Yeah, a big role. Claudette's wondering about artificial sweeteners. Yeah, so, so, I'm trying to look and see. So I think I'm probably going to be signing off. I'll look at these and see what else is up. Let me look and see. So you guys feel free to share this. Joni puts Himalayan pink salt in her water bottle, first water bottle of the day. Yeah, so Sharon, anything, look for, there's a physical therapist. I wish I had saved his link. He does and specializes, it was some series of things I think I found on YouTube, and he does exercises for folks like ourselves that are older, that have already got some hip and joint issues. And he talks about being the athlete of your own life. Be the athlete of your life. And what does he mean by that? And what I've interpreted as I've contemplated this and thought about this, one of the biggest reasons that people as they age have to go into assisted living is that they don't have enough lower body strength or ability to stand up from a chair. So they end up being wheelchair bound, and now you have to have somebody take care of you because you can't get up and just walk around. So that's one of the reasons I started doing the squats, where even if you just have the chair behind you, because I don't want you without something to grab onto or to catch you if you do fall. But even if you practice going up and down during commercials and just little ups and downs, you don't even have to go all the way up. But if you do some chest presses, if you do wall push-ups, the closer you are to the wall, the closer your feet are to the wall, the less effort it takes. If you back your feet away a foot versus a couple of inches from the wall, you'll feel the difference in your shoulders and muscles. If you back your feet away 2 feet away from the wall, you'll feel a lot more force is required of you. You're going to build more muscle strength pushing. So start close to the wall. Don't overdo it. Stay keto, stay strong. You guys are awesome. Oh, you guys. Hi, Marianne. Hi, darling. I've missed talking to you. Yeah, so Denise, you're Dr. Westman's patient. You had your blood glucose at 369. 3 diabetes meds. He told me I was over-medicated. Yeah, that can happen. You can have so much that it causes you to have the roller coaster up and down. So I am so glad you're seeing him. He's awesome. I have this huge clinical crush on him. Happily married. I'm 61. I'm sure I'm older than him, but I just have a huge clinical crush on him because he's helped so many people. He and Dr. Ken Berry, Dr. Jason Fung, Dr. Ted Naiman, Dr. Jeffrey Gerber, Dr. Sarah Hallberg. We are going to, in grassroots effort, with the power of the internet and folks like you that are willing to share this video and others to your Facebook page or to your keto groups, we're going to be able to help people avoid the pain and suffering. I'm a wound care nurse, which means I take care of people that have wounds. And one of the most significant problems that diabetics have over time is they end up with a wound on their foot because they lose their feeling. And they have a hard time healing that. It's called a diabetic foot ulcer. And if we can help people, and it leads to amputation in many cases, not every patient, but it's the I think what was the last estimate I read, every minute of every day, someone is having their foot removed due to the complications of a diabetic foot ulcer. And many of these are type 2 patients, and if they knew that avoiding carbohydrates or keeping their carbohydrates low could allow them to keep the foot attached to their leg, I think a lot of people would at least explore this and see how their blood sugar responded. Get under the care of a physician. If you're on meds, please do not change them. Please do not go on keto and keep your medications the same. Work with a doctor. Even if you have to reach out to someone like the Verta Health people and see if you, or Heal Clinics, which is run by Dr. Westman, and see if you can get under the care, because you're the same amount of medications you're taking now. Eating the standard American diet would cause you to have super, super low hypoglycemia issues. So I'm going to head on out. I've got a lot of stuff, a lot of dog walking, fantastic. That's right, Melissa, just move. Dr. Westman, put those words together. Eric Westman from Duke. Heal Clinics, H-E-A-L, and that stands for health. I think it's a great name. Healthy Eating and Living. And so he's amazing. The Heal Clinics are awesome. They're like virtual medicine. So is the Verta Clinic. There's other people that you can go out and see if you've got the funds and the ability to go out and see them. They can give you a good evaluation. So you guys are great. Give me some thumbs and some hearts, or some thumbs. I don't want thumbs. I want thumbs up. It's time to go. I've got wonderful carnivore cups here for me to finish eating. That's it for me. Have a great Sunday. God bless you all. Bye.